I've been asked for the best value tools for the first-time homeowner. You probably just moved into a house, bought an apartment, maybe your parents handed you some tools, they didn't, but you need your first tool set. And you're wondering, what do I put in there to hang that picture, change a light fixture or light setting, maybe just adjust the door. So what are the kinds of things you need? Well, I've taken a look at some of the tool sets that exist out there, either from the Home Depots of the world. And if you look at this one, this Husky homeowner set for $70, nice selection of different things in here. Basically a 63-piece set. Now you can buy different prices at different places. I've picked Home Depot to get my assortment. All my prices I'm going to give you are in Canadian. We could have picked a Canadian Tire or Lowe's. I just picked Home Depot because I know that they've got a relatively good assortment to cover off most of the tools. Now, $70 gets you this set, but you can go to Amazon and for $100 get a set with 168 pieces. Decent quality, it's got a 4.5-star rating, and it covers off most of what I'm going to show you. If you've got a very small budget and you just need the basics and decent quality set, I can recommend this $10 IKEA set. It's actually decent quality, and with a hammer, a wrench, pliers, and a screwdriver, it'll get you going. Just the basics though, and doesn't cover off some of the things you're going to need very shortly. So what I've put together are a very good value for money set of tools, and these will be able to last you a long time. They won't slip when using them, and essentially you've got the ability, I'm going to talk about upgrades too, to upgrade some of these items that will last you for a long time, if not forever. So let's start with the first and most important one, the screwdriver. Screwdriver I've picked for you is the Milwaukee 9-in-1. This is a $20 screwdriver, 4.5 stars at Home Depot. It's a ratcheting screwdriver. It's a little on the heavy side, sometimes hard to get these bits in and out, but overall this is a very good screwdriver, one you can use every day, and very easy to see that because of the long bits, it's easy to see the tip. If you want to do an upgrade version of this, I would go to the Klein, which is a 15-in-1, has these small bits in the handle, easy pack away, great ratcheting system, quite a light screwdriver, and frankly, Klein has been known for years. It's got amazing quality and brand, and this will last you forever. So a little bit more expensive if you want to do the upgrade, not necessary, but sometimes you want to buy the quality in advance. So number one was a multi-bit screwdriver. The second thing you're going to need is a good tape measure. Now, frankly, the Stanley 25-foot tape measure, $6, you should get two, one for the toolbox, one for the kitchen drawer, because they get lost. It's a very decent tape measure. I'm going to show you an upgraded version of this in a moment. The difference between this and the upgraded version, like for instance the Stanley FATMAX 25-foot, this is a 2-for-1 deal right now. It's a special buy at $30. The difference is that this extends 11 foot before the tape starts to drop off. The original one extends 7 foot before the tape starts to drop off, depending on your needs. This is a great starter at $6, but again, if you want to just spend a little bit more money, you can get these to go for it. What's the next thing everybody needs? It's a utility knife. I don't know, cutting cardboard boxes up for the blue bin, cutting rope. You always need a utility knife. You can use it for all types of things, but the Olfa is a well-established brand. These are $7.48 each. Frankly, you should get a couple of them, but you need at least one for your toolbox. Now, if you want to go a little fancier than that and you want to go for the upgraded version, this is called the Milwaukee Tool Fastback Flip Utility Knife. It's what all the construction folks use. They swear by it. It's very easy to open up, obviously. It's quick, it's easy to carry. It's got a clip on it so you can actually carry it on your belt if you need to be. And you can obviously change these blades very quickly and easily, and for all of these are bi-consumable blades. So again, a little bit more expensive. Olfa utility knife is $7 and this is $17, depending on what you want to do. The Olfa knife is actually also, just to go back to it, it's an excellent quality cutter and will last you a long time. Okay, so next thing, number 4 on the tool set is a hammer. Now, you can go with a cheaper hammer, and if you are to go to a cheaper hammer, I would recommend a 10 or 12 ounce hammer with a wooden handle. I wouldn't go anything fancier than that. This particular hammer, which is the Milwaukee Tool 16-ounce hammer, is on special right now at the Depot in Canada for $25. It's an unbelievable hammer, well balanced, vibration free. It's 16-ounce, so you can do everything from hitting nails into the wall to heavier duty stuff, and has a nail starter if you're inclined to do framing, but I doubt that's really the case. But just this is a hammer that you'll never need an upgrade for. You'll have this forever and ever and be able to pass it down. It's a really good hammer. It's very competitive with the DeWalt and the Estwing brands, and I think they've done a great job, especially the price point. So good for that. And I just want to go back and say two things. Number one is there's a lot of Milwaukee tools and Husky tools on this list. I am not sponsored by Home Depot. I am not sponsored by Milwaukee. They make good brands, and these specific items are one that I've used myself and know that they're of good quality. So that's where the recommendations are coming through. Okay, what's number five? Number five is pliers, and specifically a pliers set. So number five on the pliers set is this Husky pliers and wrench set. This is okay, and what it gets you is a vice grips, an adjustable wrench, your needle nose pliers, side cutters, and a pipe wrench type of pliers. This will get you through the most basic of needs. These are good tools. They are not the best, they're not fantastic, but they certainly will last. They're not going to snap or break or any of those elements. That said, if you truly want the upgraded version of this stuff and you want to spend a fair amount of more money, I would say, then what you're going to need to do is you're going to need to go for something like this. And both of these two items over here, the Netflix heavy duty Cobra pliers and the pliers wrench, are two unbelievably good tools. They cover off, between these two, they cover off a number of things. This covers off not just your plumbing pliers, it covers off for regular pliers. It's exceptionally great grip on the nose. You can use it for virtually everything. Extremely easy to adjust. Same thing for this. This covers off your adjustable wrench. It covers off all your wrenches and all your sockets potentially that you could possibly use. These two replace a significant number of tools, and because they're so accurate and so well forged, they work very, very well. The only element I would add to these two is you're going to need some form of long-nosed pliers and maybe something for more of the electrical side. So I would go from there. I would go to, just to add to it, I would go and add this Milwaukee. This is on special right now. These are usually for $40. I'd add this Milwaukee 7-in-1 combination pliers, which allows you to do electrical stripping, some crimping, and it's an extension. $20 is an unbelievably good deal on this guy right now. But definitely everyone should have, this is used a lot, especially if you're changing any light fixtures or light switches, which happen often in houses today. Those are good things to have. Okay, so what's next? Well, next on the list is a level. You need a level to hang those pictures, or a fridge, level a fridge, whatever you might be doing. So a level is a level on types of things that for most you're not building. So for most of the stuff, a 9-inch level will work well. A torpedo level. This one is $10. If you want to go something a little bit more fancy, you can go with a 24-inch, and I would go magnetic either way, either on this guy or this guy. This is a 24-inch magnetic IB Milwaukee. What I like about this one particularly is, you want to go with high-end materials here because you don't want to go with a plastic that's going to, warp in the heat of any sort, any weather changes whatsoever, depending on where you keep your stuff. The minute this warps, it becomes useless. So it's good to have this particular one. You may want to jump, if this is your first level, you may want to jump from there to this over here, which is straight to a laser beam. Because a lot of the stuff that you'll be doing, especially this one, it got 4 and a bit stars. It's a special buy right now. There are other versions of this at Home Depot, but this Husky's not bad. It's green. It's not used for outdoors. It's mostly for indoors. But this is great for hanging pictures or anything that you've got to hang, especially with a cross beam. So that's a good product to have a level. Number 7 is the flashlight. You need a flashlight. Now here I'm embarrassed to say Home Depot falls short of assortment. They've sometimes got good stuff in their specials when they do their Christmas specials, Black Fridays, whatever. But truly, Amazon offers a much better assortment when it comes to LED flashlights. Um, some folks go by, you should add only a flashlight that takes, double A's. So it's easy when there's a power out for you to have more double A's because you can't charge it. I'm a big fan of the USB charging flashlights. They last much longer. They tend to be brighter because they've got better batteries in them. And again, you can buy them on Amazon pretty quickly and easily, which is what I would do. But if you have to buy everything at Amazon, they usually keep these $9 ones in stock. Um, Next thing on it, sorry, I'm jumping up a touch. Next thing on it is tape. Now, some folks will say, okay, well, you only need one tape, you just need duct tape. And that is totally true if you are MacGyver. But I can tell you way more than duct tape. I use two kinds of tapes around the house all the time. One is electrical tapes that are very versatile, not just for electrical work because they're very strong and with a bit of a stretch and they've got good adhesive. But this 3-in-1 particularly is excellent. Um, you should have a roll of duct tape, of electrical tape, and a roll of, I prefer the painter's blue tape. You get the green, the blue, and you've got, the regular masking tape, and a roll of this. For any kind of paint touch-up work you're doing, even for wrapping up wires, you can run this around a couple of times. It's just really useful tape to have. So if not a couple of rolls of each of those tapes. But again, you could also just go for, as well, you can add duct tape so you've got all three. Next is Allen keys. Now, there's some need for this. If you're buying IKEA furniture, they tend to bring their own Allen keys. There's adjustments of plumbing fixtures, and sometimes in electrical fixtures, you're going to need some Allen keys. I think for the most part, you need metric. Not a bad set for $15, this Husky set. I prefer the ones with the ball on them. For instance, the upgraded version of this guy would be this Weeha 3-piece. They don't keep it in the store. They do have, Husky also has an upgraded version with these ball attachments on the bottom, and they allow for a better turn at a slight angle, which very often you're dealing with when you're dealing with these hex screws. So good set to have. So that's number 9. Number 10 is I've got a putty knife. Now, a putty knife, and maybe I've missed my putty knife, but here it is. The putty knife is, you can get them in metal, you can get them in plastic. People are going to say buy them in metal. They last longer. I think buy them in plastic. They're significantly cheaper, and you can buy a couple of them. You're usually buying this particular one. I would buy the 3-inch versus the 1-inch. But you're usually buying this with some kind of filler, either a wall filler because you put a hole in the wall. So you should have a box of that somewhere. It doesn't generally go around in your toolbox, but there's stuff I haven't added in here like batteries and, wall filler. Those are things that are good to have in the house. But this you would need it for, and this you could use for anything, for pushing down a vinyl sticker, whatever you might need it for. Next would be electrical testers. So this is important, and particularly receptacle outlets. So what happens is a light fixture doesn't work, a lamp doesn't work, you immediately think it's the bulb, whatever it might be, but it actually might be the actual outlet on the wall. And all you've got to do is plug this guy in, and within a second, you can tell not just whether that plug's working or not, but what the problem is. The upgrade here, and I would seriously consider going straight to this, is these two. So this is a plug tester, and for GFI as well, it has a GFI outlet tester. And then this, which is something I use all the time, is a non-contact voltage tester. And it works very well. You just hold it close up to the outlet or to a live wire or to anything, and it'll tell you whether it's alive or not. You don't necessarily need, especially when you're starting out, anything as fancy as measuring actual voltage. You might need something to measure the voltage of a battery, but for the most part, these two things are very important to have around the house. Okay, so that would be number 11, which is the electrical tester. Number 10 is the stud finder. So the two areas that I feel Home Depot, there's a few areas actually that Home Depot doesn't have the best assortment in the world, and frankly, this is one of them. Their stud finders. I would recommend this one. It's an $18 stud finder. It'll get you through the basics. If you've got a good magnet, a very strong magnet, like an earth magnet, You can find where the nails are on the studs and run your line up, and you can find where the stud runs. It'll do the same job as this for much cheaper. But if you don't have that magnet, buy this guy and it'll get you through it. Now, if you want to spend some extra money, and this is where it's a good place to spend extra money, I would go and buy this car, which is the Franklin stud sensors. Uh, it's night and day when it comes to finding. This helps you find the beginning and end of a stud versus kind of roughly. Um, these are unbelievably good. You can get this ones at Canadian Tire for $30. You can buy them on Amazon. Really, really solid. Well worth the money. Okay, so now you've got all this stuff. What are you going to do with it? You need a carry case. Lots of places to buy it, but this 12-inch tool bag for 15 bucks at Home Depot, this Husky. The Husky tool bags are solid. They're very well built. They're nicely stitched. They've got good quality. Not heavy. It's not big. You can put this in the car, put this in the house, and it fits everything in. They often go on sale with other stuff, but frankly, this is a great bag. It's just an all-around very useful bag. So what's not in this tool bag? And this tool bag so far adds up, everything so far that we've spoken about is about $180 on the low side and about $300 on the high side. But if you, even on the low side that we've spoken about, it's still better quality. All those items that I suggested you start at are all better quality than just buying a kit that's a plastic molded kit that's hard to get your fingers into, that is heavy to trek around, is big, it's awkward to get in. These, I believe, a bag is a much better all-round fitter. So what's missing for the everyday user? I know what you're going to say. It's the electric or cordless, for the most part, cordless drill. Now, Home Depot carries the Ryobi brand, which belongs to the Milwaukee family, as Black & Decker belongs to the DeWalt family. Black & Decker makes a good 12-volt one. Ryobi 18-volt 1 Plus, the 8 1 Plus brand, their line is actually excellent. It's got a great assortment, and if you're an occasional user for the stuff, I would recommend it. It's got 179 people on Home Depot that have given it 5 stars. So at $80, it's a bit of a no-brainer. As I said, if you're looking to add extra tools to this at some point, they've got a huge assortment on the 1 Plus. Now, if you want something a little lighter and slightly better quality, and I say slightly better, the Milwaukee, and you're going to argue with me because technically this is actually a screwdriver and not a drill driver like the Ryobi was, which is $140, and this sometimes goes on sale, and you see different deals for this. Their M12 line has also got a significant assortment of tools that you can grow into. But this has got like 175 foot-pounds of torque. It's going to easily put screws and screwdriver drill holes easily into most of the stuff you're doing. It's great balance, lightweight, and it's going to last you a long, long time. Milwaukee comes with a good warranty. So I would go with either one of those as a good starter to the pack if you want to add a cordless drill. And that's it. That's what I think. If you're starting out and you want to get your very first real set of tools versus just going to, as I said, the Home Depots and buying off, their Husky pack for 70 bucks or a Amazon 100 pack or a IKEA $10 pack, and you want to get better quality tools than all 3 of these, that's what I would recommend going for. See you later and happy fixing.